Logo reveals are one of my favorite topics within a design realm. There are countless ways that we can reveal a logo for our audience or for our client. My name is Kenny Phases, and today we'll be learning how to create a physics-based logo reveal in Blender 3D. We'll be using the latest version of Blender, 4.2.1. However, this should work in most recent versions as well. If you really like physics projects like this, there's a lot more just like this in the core physics course at cgcookie.com. You can see from these examples that we have countless ways and styles to reveal our logo. This approach is completely physics-based, and it's actually quite simple to set up, so let's go ahead and dive right in. The first thing you'll need is an SVG of your logo, or a 3D mesh. Either will do just fine, and in this case, I'm starting out with an SVG. If you'd like to use the exact same logo that I'm using, you can head over to the Blender Market logo page and download the SVG of the Blender Market logo. Alternatively, you can go to the Blender logo page and download their logo asset pack as well. Both should come with standard SVG files for you to utilize. For SVGs, simply go to File, Import, SVG. Once your SVG is added into your scene, you can simply join all of the parts together with Ctrl-J. They may import separately, so you might have to delete the ones that you don't want within your hierarchy. Next, under Object Data Properties panel, go into the Geometry dropdown and extrude your SVG. For this, I tend to extrude it a fair amount, which will make more sense later when we add our physics. Now, simply right-click on your SVG and convert to mesh. To ensure that you did this correctly, quickly tab into Edit mode to view your underlying geometry. Now that we have our mesh ready for our simulation, all we need to do is start adding in our physics. Before moving forward, I would highly suggest that you save your project. Start off by adding a passive rigid body to our mesh logo. Choose the shape type mesh. Our mesh will act as a stationary object while our other objects collide with it during the simulation. Eventually, we will hide this object from rendered view. Next, let's add a plane to our scene and give it the exact same rigid bodies as before. I'll set this plane towards the bottom of our logo, and this will act as our floor. Make sure to scale this pretty big for our simulation. Now, this is the fun part where we get to choose what type of object we want to help reveal our logo. In my case, I prefer spheres, but you can choose any object you like. I prefer spheres because they are quick to bake for our simulation, and I think they visually look nice. I'll start by adding a sphere into our scene and scaling it small enough so that it can fit in between the gaps in our logo. This is very important because otherwise we can't properly reveal the details of the logo. You're going to want to choose the rigid body type active for our sphere. Place the sphere above your logo and play your animation to check if everything is working properly. If the sphere falls between the logo or onto the floor, everything should be working properly. One setting to play with in order to make this work is called margin. Sometimes your objects will hit in weird ways, and margin is basically the distance of the barrier between both objects and where they actually collide. The smaller this amount is, the closer our objects will touch. Typically, the default amount is fine here, but depending on your object's scale, you may have to experiment with this value. Now that we know that our object is working properly and colliding with our logo, it's time to move our object to a new collection. You can call this whatever you like. This is where a majority of our objects will be held. This will help us stay organized and make it easier to duplicate things in the future. Now we can start actually making duplicates of our object using the shortcut Shift-D, and then we can utilize the shortcut Shift-R to repeat our last action. I will duplicate my spheres until I have hundreds spread around the scene. I prefer to add the spheres to multiple locations around my logo so that when my logo reveal happens, it seems to happen from all directions. Right now, if we press play, not too much will happen, and the spheres will simply fall onto the plane. The true magic of our simulation is created with a force field. In your main collection, add a force field to your scene with a negative value of about 100. This value can be easily modified later for different results. Now, I will go into my scene properties and I will modify my rigid body world settings. For both substeps and solver iterations, I will set these to about 5 or 6. Typically, the lower the value is, the quicker the bake is for the simulation. The higher the value, the longer the bake will take, but the more detailed and realistic result that you'll get for your simulation. For this simulation, I'll bake my cache to about frame 120. Make sure to also change your timeline to about 120 as well. Now we can click Bake, and once the simulation is ready, we can click the spacebar on our keyboard to preview our simulation. If you want to make any changes, make sure to clear the cache and then adjust your physics values until you're happy with the result. Now, I think our simulation looks super satisfying, and I'm ready to move on to shading, lighting, and rendering. I'll be using Cycle's render engine for this logo reveal. I'll start by switching to rendered view and adding an HDRI to get some basic lighting for our scene. We'll simply head over to polyhaven.com, we'll go right under assets, and we'll take a look at all of their HDRIs that they have completely for free. Once you find one that you like, go ahead and click on download in any size that you want. I typically choose 4K. In order to add an environment texture, it's actually quite easy. We'll just go into our world settings and we'll switch our brightness and contrast or our color picker to environment texture, and we'll select the file that we downloaded from Polyhaven. Now, in rendered view, all you have to do is rotate around and you'll see your environment texture 3D world image set up. For our background plane, I'll make this a darker color to contrast with our foreground objects. For the objects themselves, I'll choose a nice orange color with some subsurface scattering. To apply our material to all objects, we can select all of them and then shift-click the colored one, and then we'll just simply click Ctrl-L on our keyboard and copy that material over to the rest of the objects. Now that we have some nice materials in our scene, let's add an area light to exaggerate the lighting just a little bit. I like to change the spread amount in the light settings to get more of a dramatic effect. If you want to, you can even use nodes and add a noise texture to add variation to our lighting. Now, with our lighting and materials finished, I will add a camera to our scene and face it top down on our logo. Make sure to frame your logo however you want it, but in my case, I'll just be centering mine. I like to use an 85mm or 100mm lens on my camera for a more realistic focal length. Once you have your camera the way you want it, we're almost ready to render. I'll simply change my output resolution to 1920 by 1080, and then I'll put my scale at 200%. You can also just use Blender's built-in resolution presets to select your desired video resolution. Now, select an output folder and make sure the file format is set to PNG, because we're going to render a PNG sequence that will later import into Blender's video editor. Now, finally, I'll change my samples to about 100 and enable motion blur for added realism. Before I render, I'll do a quick test frame to see how things are looking. Be sure to hide your logo from rendered view before rendering your animation. Once you've rendered all of your frames, you can import them into Blender's video editor file and export them at a full-scaled video at around 30 frames per second. This is our final result. I am super happy with how this came out. It looks smooth and professional. I want to share with you a few other variations of this physics-based logo reveal for your inspiration. If you like this tutorial, consider subscribing to CG Cookie's channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.